Hello everyone, it's Chromatic Keenan, and today I'm here with nobody, since we're going over my SPDL draft. So this is a bit different for what I did last time. So I'm basically just going to go over what Pokemon I chose for SPDL Season 5, and I'm pretty sure Vanilla, Snorlax, and Orange are going to be doing very similar videos, so you can see their draft picks and how they analyze them. So in the draft order, I'm normally near the middle or near the end, but this time I got lucky and got second. And with my newfound power, my first mon I chose was Mega Scizor, which Scizor is probably one of my favorite Pokemon, right behind Garchomp and Volcarona. It has Technician, which boosts all of its weaker moves, which is good for Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, and all that stuff. And people know how Scizor work at this point. It has a pretty good move pool in my opinion, with U-Turn Swords Dance, Pursuit, Knockoff, different things like that. And it has a lot of tech moves that can be used as well, like Defog if you really wanted to, or even Dual Wing Beat, or other bug types like a Araquanid, because I know someone drafted that, so Swords Dance, Dual Wing Beat to take care of that. It also has Roost to keep its longevity, and yeah, it's just a good mon all around. It was expensive though, like 18 points I'm pretty sure, but it was all worth it for this attack stat and this bulk. And I'm pretty sure I have a good name for this one. Yeah, I'm gonna name it Aries. I name most of my Scizors this, because as Bugmaster, it just works well. God of War just works well with Scizor. My next pick, so I wanted to get my Dragon Fairy Steel Core done as early as I could, and I was originally gonna get Latias, which then Orange told me that Latios would probably be better, but I really didn't think I'd be able to get it. But lo and behold, I actually was able to get Latios, which was honestly amazing because it's fast for one, 110 speed. Who wouldn't want that? It hits like a truck, especially, and it has 90 attack, which can be used for like Earthquake and different moves like that. Its move pool is very large because both the Lati twins have a very large move pool. Earthquake, Defog, Air Slash, Aura Sphere, Hone Claws, I probably won't use it, but it's still there. Ice Beam, it has dual screens, it's Mystical Fire, its coverage is amazing. And it even has Recover and Roost. I don't know why you need both, but who knows. It can be good as a Specs mon, as a Scarfed mon. I could even use Soul Dew if I really wanted to. It's just a really good mon. Like, who wouldn't want Latios as their Dragon type? And it honestly pairs really well with Scizor, since it resists its only weakness, which is Fire. And Scizor is pretty bulky and takes care of the fairy types. It scares almost any fairy type that would try to get in the way of Latios. And it can even set up with Calm Mind. It's just a very good mon all around, and I'm very happy I actually got it. I wouldn't have minded Latias, but this offensive power is really good. And I'm trying to think of a name. I think I got one. It's kind of an unusual name. Heretic. You either get it or you don't. I know someone out there is going to get that name. Alright, next. So, I originally wanted Tapu Koko as my fairy type, but Orange decided to take it, so I wasn't able to get that. So then my next choice was Tapu Fini, which I didn't get that either. Which I guess is alright, since I was able to get these two, which are pretty amazing to get. So, as my fairy type, I was able to get Clefable, which honestly, I'll take it. Clefable's a really good mon all around. It has Magic Guard just to avoid hazards, and Unaware for setup to stop setup. It has a massive move pool as well, like even larger than the Lati twins. Like this mon can almost do anything. You need a physical attacker, use Belly Drum. You need something special, Life Orb Magic Guard. You set up, you have Calm Mind, Cosmic Power, Sword Power. It's also a very good cleric with Wish, Teleport, Aromatherapy. It's just a very good mon, which I was happy to get. And it's also bulky, has a lot of HP, pretty good amount of special defense, and okay defense, but it's still pretty good in that category. It can run leftovers, but based on the rest of my draft, it's probably going to be sticking to the cleric role for like most of the games, unless it just really does good offensively. But my team doesn't really have a cleric, so that's just going to be its main job. And yeah, there's not much more to say about Clefable since it's kind of linear, but it's hard to predict against it. It has so many things it could run. It has fire coverage. Pretty sure it's Ice Beam somewhere in this. Yep, it has Ice Punch, and close enough. But yeah, it's just a really good mon I was happy to take. For name, let's see. Okay, I think I got one. I'm just gonna name it Athena. If you couldn't tell, I really like mythology, because Ares and Athena, there's already two of them. Yeah, so after I got that Dragon Fairy Steel core done, I wanted to start my Water, Grass, and Fire core. And I have not many points left if I'm being real here, because these three were expensive. But guess what? I didn't care. So I decided to draft Greninja, because like who doesn't want Greninja? It's just amazing no matter what. I can't run Protein, I can't run Battle Bond, which is sad, yes, but it's still good because I needed something higher than base 110 speed at some point, and Greninja does that. And Greninja actually has a very wide move pool as well. It has Gunk Shot for Fairy types, Extrasensory, Grass Knot, Power Up Punch. I probably won't use it, but it's still there. It has Taunt. It can run both spikes, Toxic Spikes and Normal Spikes, which I'm probably going to need since so far I don't really have any hazard setters. It has Priority and Water Shuriken and Shadow Sneak. It's just a good, fast water type. And it's a dark type, which is pretty much mandatory in draft for quite a few reasons, but I really won't really get into that. And it can run, honestly, a lot of items. It can do Life Orb, Heavy Duty Boots, Focus Sash, Expert Belt, Choice Specs, Choice Scarf. I could probably even run Choice Band if I want to run like Gunk Shot or something else. It's just a good, fast offensive mon that I'm happy to pick up. And it's a very good hazard setter, which I really needed because I was very low on hazards by the time the draft ended. Yeah, it's just a really good mon. And also, this is my first time drafting any of these, so it's gonna be a new experience for me. And what I'm gonna name it, how do I spell it? Let me see. Okay, Suigetsu, which, if you don't know, is a Naruto character, and I actually got this name from Flaps, which thank him for that, because that's a really cool name for a water type. Okay, next up, I decided to take a little break from the cores, because I wanted to get a faster physical attacker. Because yes, Scizor, it's a good physical attacker because it hits hard, but its speed is meh. So I want to get a fast physical attacker, and also something that could hit steel types pretty hard since I was lacking that department as well. So I got Galarian Zapdos, which this is my second time drafting this mon, but first time in SPDL. And I was actually surprised I got it because just look at this. All these mons are just so good. its stats are amazing for being a legendary. It has 100 speed, which, you know, it could be higher, but base 100 is always good to have for the speed tiers. It hits pretty hard with 125 attack. Defiant to scare away those defoggers, and who knows, if a stray Shadow Ball hits me and I lower SPDL, I just get a boost and my opponent is basically dead at that point. Its move pool is, it's alright, if I'm being real. It mainly has flying, fighting moves, but like close combat, drill peck to wing beat. It has blaze kick for things like Barrathorn, but like close combat kind of already does that. It has stomping tantrum. It has hurricane, which I could use a specs set, because base 85 special attack honestly isn't bad, but there's probably no point with using it as a special attacker, seeing as my next picks are pretty special attacking mons. It can even set up with bulk up agility, this ancient power for like nothing, honestly. I don't know if I mentioned it. As U-turn, which is always good, taunt, steel wing for those fairy types. It's just a good mon that I can make a lot of use of. And it hits like a truck if I run choice band, choice scarf, life orb, extra belt. It probably even be leftovers if I try to do a setting up set. And yeah, I just really like this mon, like a lot. I use it in VGC sometimes when I do play, and it's really good there because Dynamax is broken. So for a name, let's see. Okay, I got one. There we go. I'm gonna name it Nike, which, if you don't know, is the goddess of victory, because this mon is gonna lead us to victory, I can already tell. Also, it's good for ground immunity, which I didn't have yet. Well, technically erratic with a ground immunity, but still, it's good to have Zapdos as a backup one, since my team starts to lose to ground after a little while. You'll see. Okay, so next pick, I wanted a special attacker and a grounded poison, which I wanted Nidoking, got taken. I wanted Nidoqueen, got taken as well. Actually, let me do this, because before I drafted the mon I'm about to say later, I got Vikavolt, which I originally wanted Rotom Mo, but it got sniped, so I just went for Vikavolt, since it's basically the same thing, but slower, hits harder, and sets webs, which I'm not really going to go into this mod too much, and I'm going to trade it, but Vikavolt was pretty good, honestly, because Nike with web support, that's just amazing. It's an amazing combo, but I don't end up keeping it for long, so I'm just going to leave it there. My next pick, which is another pick that's actually not going to end up staying, was Ninetales, which I wanted a fire type, and Ninetales kind of just did the job, because it was either this or Magmortar, and, you know, I just rather have this. It doesn't hit as hard, but Sun makes up for it. Its move pool is honestly amazing. It has a pretty good move pool, like most Gen 1 Pokemon do. It could run Scarf, Specs, Focus Sash. It's just a good mon. Well, it could be better. Like, it's not very bulky. It's kind of frail. But on the SPDL side, it's pretty bulky with base 100. And base 100 speed, even though Zapdos has it, it's still good because it would outspeed things like Crocodiles. But we don't end up keeping this mon, so I won't go too much into it. Alright, so after Ninetales, I wanted a grass type to finish off my core, and I also wanted something that can make use of Sun. And I originally got Vileplume. And Vileplume, I was also kind of excited to use it, but again, these three mons right here, we don't end up keeping. So I eventually drop it, but Vileplume, it's good. Because, like, it's basically a mini Venusaur. Like, that's all there is to say about it. It's just a slightly worse Venusaur. It's not as fast as it, but still. It's still a bulky grass, which I needed. And yeah, not gonna go too much into it since I don't end up keeping it, but still. Alright, so next on the list is Well, I wanted a bulky water since that's something most drafts need. And someone drafted Dracovish, so who wouldn't want a bulky water if someone gets Dracovish? So I decided to get Walrein since I had very little points left after making all these expensive ones up here. So, Walrein, I've never used this mon before, but I'm really excited to, because Thick Fat means it resists ice, which if you haven't seen that Lati loses to ice, Greninja loses to freeze dry, Nike loses to ice, and Vileplume loses to ice. So I really want to get something that wasn't weak to freeze dry, and Thick Fat Walrein just eats those all day. And it's really bulky. I don't know why, but it's just bulky because so much HP, so a good base 90 defense and special defense, which is actually really good. Its move pool, it's alright. Actually, it's not bad if I'm being real here, because Heavy Slam, I didn't know it had that. Like, that's really good. Iron Head, Liquidation. It could be a physical or a special attacker. I'm probably going to end up using it for a special attacker, if anything, but it's probably going to be on defensive for most of the time. And I'm pretty sure it gets Stockpile, which, if you don't know, I like Stockpile, because most people don't expect you to use it. It's just good to surprise them. Yeah, Walrein is just a good bulky water, which I needed. Ooh, Belly Drum. Ooh, I could probably do something with that. I didn't even know it had that. I can probably make use of these. Oh, it has Encore too. I could probably Encore something. Oh yeah, this mon's actually really nice. And Body Press. I didn't even know it had that. Walrein is actually something we end up keeping, so I'm just gonna name it. Yeah, Sub-Zero. Yeah, that's actually a good name for this because it's also my ice type. Yeah, Walrein is good because it may be weak to rocks, but that can be mitigated with heavy duty boost. You can run leftovers, you can run citrus berry, or like any of these recovery berries. I could even do Assault Vest at some point if I just really need a special wall. And yeah, Walrein is just a good bulky water. And even though it lacks recovery, I have Athena as a Wish Passer, so it's always there. Now for my last pick before Grace Period was Rotom Fan, which again I don't end up keeping this, so I won't really go into it, but it's Rotom. It's Rotom. It does what all of the Rotom appliances do. It's just not really that great of one, but still, it's good. Alright, Okay, so after Grace Period, there were things I was going to end up taking out. So Vikavolt ends up going, Ninetales ends up going, Vileplume ends up going, and Rotom Fan ends up going. And in place of those, oh crap, in place of those, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. In place of those mons, I end up getting... Okay, let me think. Okay, here it is. I get Nihilego, which is really good because it's a special beast. It just eats those all day. It hits hard, especially because I needed another special attacker besides Latios, so that takes the load off of that. And it has really good speed. It's over base 100, so it kills things like Charizard. And yeah, its move pool is actually really good. It has a good special and physical move pool, but nothing strong is coming off base 53 attack, so I probably even mentioned that. It's a good Scarfer, it's a good Spectmon, it can do Life Orb. It's also a grounded poison for toxic spikes, and it can even set its own toxic spikes, and it's another rocker besides Clefable, which I really needed because I'm lacking in the hazard department kinda. And yeah, it's Nihilego, like, it's basically Blacephalon, it just changed typings, and was slightly slower. Yeah, so, oh yeah, let me name it. Oh Okay, here it is. I ended up naming the Plumeria because, which, if you don't know, is a flower, and it just reminds me of it. It's also a name of someone in Team Skull. Well, not Team. It was Team Skull from Sun and Moon, and also Beast Boost. Who wouldn't want this? I can make use of it at some point as an end game sweeper. So now, let's see. Alright, so I ended up getting Torkoal as my Ninetales replacement. They're actually the same amount of points, so I didn't really lose anything from this. But I ended up realizing that it's another rocker, it's another way to remove hazards. It hits slightly harder. It's slower, but like, I already had a base 100 speed and Nike to Zapdos, so it's fine. And it lives for a much longer time. It can take hits. Another reason why I decided to get Torkoal over Ninetales was because it has Yawn, Toxic, Superpower, Stealth Rock. Like, it's just a good fire type. It's slow, but it still hits hard. And Drought, which will come in handy for next thing I show. And Body Press for steel types like Heatran. Yeah, just a good mon. Oh, I forgot Shell Smash. Ooh, I could probably try that at some point. Okay, getting sidetracked. Also, another reason why I chose this because I looked at the other teams during Grace Period, and all the other weather setters were slower than Ninetales, which, if you didn't know, the slower weather is the one that happens near the end. So I want to get a slower sun setter, which luckily Torkoal is the slowest thing out there. So I was able to get Torkoal. I forgot I have to name it. Okay, let's see. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. Alright, Hephaestus, which is a god of blacksmith and fire, which works well for Torkoal just looking at it. Alright. Next to the end was Venusaur, which, if we're being real, is probably the best Sun Abuser in the game, because it has Growth, Weather Ball, Synthesis. It just has a lot of ways to abuse Sun. It's also a grass type, which I needed since I got rid of Vileplume, and I'm not really sure which is bulkier, Vileplume or Venusaur, but it still basically does the same job, and it's another grounded poison besides Nihilego. It has Recovery and Synthesis, and it has... Its move pool is kind of better, because, like, who knows, Outrage could come in handy at some point. As Toxic, Amnesia, like, it's just a good Mon, and a good Sun Abuser. It's also a very good bulky grass type that I know I'm going to make use of, especially with Torkoal to boost its speed. Its name, let's think. It's grass, so we'll just name it Gaia. Gaia, yeah, that's a good name for it. Okay, last on the list. Rotom Fan ended up turning into Emolga, which I ended up not keeping, and I ended up trading Emolga for Pikachu after Orange told me that Pikachu is basically Emolga without the electric immunity and hits harder because of the item Light Ball, which basically doubles both its attacking stats, meaning that right there is a lie. 55, yeah, that doesn't exist. It also has two good abilities in Static and Lightning Rod, which my electric, I'm not that electric weak, but it's still good to have an immunity since I don't really have a ground type, since Nidoking and Nidoqueen was taken. It has priority and extreme speed, Fake Out. It's a good Nuzzlemon, base 90 speed, which, yeah, it's good. It's slower than Emolga, but but I needed something in the base 90 speed tier anyways. Yes, so it's good. It's knockoff Nasty Plot. For sure it's Draining Kiss too, so it has something to hit dragons. It has Yawn, Wish, which I'm not gonna use as a Wish Passer. Base 35 Wishes are not gonna heal anything on this team. That's not heal Nihilego at all. Yeah, there's not much to say about Pikachu. It doesn't really do much. I'll probably use it a few times, but it's not going to be something I use too often. Because it's not like I'm begging for an electric type. Yeah, I'm just going to name it something simple. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to name Pikachu Sparky. It's just a small little mouse Pokemon. Alright, so there you have it. That's my SPDL draft. All their names, which, yeah, I like their names. And I do hope this team is able to finish work. I think it will. But we'll see in the end. And hopefully, we'll be able to win week 1 and all of them to come. And I will be recording my matches, so you can watch out for that. And Vanilla already made a video talking about his draft, so you can watch that after you watch this. And I'm pretty sure Orange is going to make a video about his draft as well, so you should go watch that as well. And with that, I guess it's done, because that's basically my draft analysis. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and goodbye.